Well, good morning. Um, we have coffee. Dave made it. He also brought bagels and muffins and a breakfast burrito. And he showed me how to use the little coffee making thing. Oh, well, he didn't come over just for that. He comes over every day. Whether I want him to or not. He drops by and checks in on me. Make sure I've been eating. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's the best of friends. Um, his husband's very nice too. You'll get to meet him today. Oh, wait, I just jumped ahead of myself there. I assumed that you would hang out because you have no work to... Oh. Okay, good. Because, we have a lot to go over. Well, about Brad. I talked about this with Dave, and I was hoping that you would stay with me for a while until Brad is either back in jail or he has been sentenced, or I don't know. Just I'm concerned that he sees you as a threat now, especially since, I mean, let's face it, you were a pretty good threat to him. I don't think he was prepared to see you 2 days in a row, because he'd seen me feed on other people before. I thought he was just kind of a voyeur, maybe a little bit overly attached, but he clearly knew I had come home with you, and he was waiting by your car. So, especially when you consider he had a weapon, I'm just concerned for your safety. We all are. I couldn't deal with knowing that something had happened to you because you'd gotten into, this with me. What is this? Okay, a little off the topic, but sure. This is Louis. I think that this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Okay, sorry, no movie quotes. This is special to me. You are special to me, and I know that this has been very quick, but we've also spent a lot of time together in the short amount of time, and it feels like it's been a lot longer. It feels like it's the beginning of something big. And it's so early, I get that. Like, there could be a million things that we just rub each other wrong with. We could have different compatibilities on how clean or unclean we are. One of us may need more alone time than the other. But I think a lot of the things that rub people wrong or make them get stressed with each other are things that we have the means to fix or work around. If one of us is not tidy enough, I at least have the means to have someone come in and clean. If one of us needs more space than the other, I mean, personally, I've been alone for great lengths of time, and I'm okay with that. And at the same time, time spent with special people is so special that I'm okay if you want to be in each other's pockets all the time. This already sounds like one of those people who are ready to lose themselves in a relationship, and I promise it's not that. I recognize that there are so many things that we might just be utterly incompatible in, and I just, so far I think all the big things, the things that really matter, we're good with. And I think we can be good for a long time. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I will have been so happy to have known you. I never mind paying the piper. But, I mean, I personally have had very long-lasting relationships based on far less. Based on just wanting children. I realize that sounds so desperately sad to modern ears, but it wasn't. I mean, sure, my husbands and I didn't necessarily get together because we were so smitten and in love with each other. But we rubbed along nicely, and I can genuinely say that I loved them so much by the time they passed. This is different, though. This time I am smitten. And maybe that is the part that will mess us up. Maybe for both of us we'll feel like we have so much more to lose if things don't go right, that the stress will be a problem between us. But I promise to continue reassuring you how smitten I am with you, so that we can eliminate that as a problem as well. I just need you to communicate with me when it's too much. And hopefully, if ever, it's not enough. Can we do that? Can we plan for the best and prepare for the worst here? Good. Good. Because I would really like to plan for the best with you. All right. But in the more immediate sense, Brad, he has clearly noticed that you and I have a different relationship than I've had with the usual blood dolls. And that, well, maybe it is a derogatory term. I never thought of it that way. It's just, I mean, you know, you're a doll for doing this kind of thing. Yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it? Okay, well, he's clearly seen that there's a difference between my relationship with you and the usual blood donors. There we go. And now we have the added factor that you put him down very quickly. It's very impressive. But that said, you're still one person. He came with a weapon, and next time he might come with a more dangerous weapon. So, Dave and I would appreciate it. He really likes you, by the way. Anyway, Dave and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't mind staying here and he can drive you to and from work and then wait for you at your work while he keeps an eye on the building. You should also let your coworkers know that there's somebody they should be keeping an eye out for. Not that I think he'd be a danger to them, but just to watch out for you. So, I know that's a lot, but Oh, me? No, I wouldn't be alone, I promise. For one, my house is a fortress, and for another, Dave's husband would be here. He's also pretty good in a pinch. They both are. You know, the first time we met him, Dave and I had spent the night hanging out at this gay bar, and we were ready to go home. I stopped on the way out to use the little bathroom, and he went on ahead to go warm up the car because it was a cold winter evening. Suffice it to say, I didn't see the beginning of the fight, but Dave had gone out, and he gets jumped by some guy that is twice his size. I mean, take a look at Dave. He's not huge. Not tiny, but he's still very powerfully built, even at this age, and at that time, even more so. You wouldn't have known it, though, when he was wearing a leather jacket that just sort of hid the bulk of his arms. He looked like a small guy. He looked like a young twink. So anyway, I'm done in the bathroom. I come out the door, and I see that this guy is all over Dave. And they're pounding each other and pounding each other. And this guy's so big that he just covers my friend. Now, I'm pretty fast. We've established that. But before I could even move, there was another guy there. He came up from behind and grabbed Dave's attacker by the throat, and he's pulling and he's pounding him in the face, pounding him in the face, pounding him in the face. And he's trying to pull the guy off of Dave, but the guy is just roaring, and he's not coming away. And Dave is pounding him in the stomach, pounding him in the stomach. What we couldn't see, because the attacker was on top of Dave, was that while this hero was trying to pull the attacker off of him, Dave wasn't done with him. Dave was on the bottom, this little twink of a dude covered by this big, giant man. Dave wasn't done with him. Dave had him by the happy sacks, and while the other guy was trying to pull him off. And Dave is holding on to him so he can keep punching him and punching him and punching him. Okay, this is probably a very violent story and not very... I shouldn't be gleeful at the memory of... It's hard to be mad, though, because the guy jumped him. And Dave just tore into him so bad. Ah... And that's how Dave met Dan. Yes. Dave and Dan. Dan is Dave's husband. Anyway, the two of them are pretty tough in their own right. Especially Dave. I've never in my life had a moment of feeling unsafe around them. So I know they don't look it, but even today they can handle themselves. You don't go through an age of homophobia being semi-out and then fully out without being able to handle yourself, I suppose. I mean, some people did, but not these two. They never backed down from somebody who wanted to get in their faces. They never started anything. I mean, you've met Dave. He is the most affable person, and you wouldn't think that he would be inclined to fight, but he can handle himself. Which is why I would like him to be with you. I mean, I know you can as well, but you can't have eyes in the back of your head, and I would really feel better if you had some support, some backup, somebody to be there when I can't, and somebody who's probably actually more capable of helping you than I am, because fast only gets you so far. I've still got Weak little lady arms. Okay, yes, technically also fangs. I could rip somebody's... Okay, but still, weak little lady arms. No, I've got weak little lady arms. You're going to have to hold me and care for me. And protect me like you did a few nights ago. Okay, does that mean that you are on board with all of this? Oh, well, it's not the only way you'd be invited to stay here every day. Well, the other way is just wanting to. Yes, that's all it takes. You want, I will give. Anything. How's your coffee? I've never had it. No, I mean, I've never had coffee, period. We were mostly tea drinkers, until the incident. Oh, well, honestly, we'd kind of cut down before then because it was so expensive. And the incident in Boston didn't help. That's when a lot of Americans started drinking coffee instead of tea. Oh, no. I didn't know anybody. I was still in New York, but, read about it in the paper.